is CNN.
We believe in cultural and economic diversity.
We advocate for the sovereignty of people and human rights.
We believe that people should respect nature and participate in an inseparable relationship between nature and society.
We fight for participation in decision-making.
We believe in the valorization of collective achievements and actions as a means of building a better world.
We are Amigos da Terra, committed to building a better Brazil.
Cidade maravilhosa,
cheia de encantos mil.
Cidade maravilhosa, coração do meu Brasil.
Cidade maravilhosa, cheia de encantos mil. Cidade maravilhosa, coração do meu Brasil.
Brazil. It's a beautiful country with lush forests, spectacular beaches, and an abundance of natural resources. These elements make it an ideal destination for the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. However, there are several parts of Brazil that are often hidden from view because they are not as appealing. Brazil is plagued with many environmental problems, seen and unseen, that affect millions of its inhabitants. These problems have been further exacerbated due to preparation for the 2016 Olympic Games and the 2014 World Cup. In this video, we will identify some of these issues and investigate who they're affecting and how Brazil may go about changing this reality for the better from an environmentalist standpoint. Guanabara Bay's once rich and diversified ecosystem has suffered extensive damage in recent decades. The bay has been heavily impacted by urbanization, deforestation, and pollution of its waters with sewage, garbage, and most notoriously, oil spills in 1975, 1997, and the year 2000. The most recent oil spill in 2000 released 340,000 gallons of oil into the bay, destroying large areas of the mangrove ecosystem. Recovery measures are currently being attempted, but more than a decade after the incident, the mangrove areas have not returned to life.
Although Brazil's forests are considered to be the lungs of the earth, air pollution in Brazil is a major problem because of rapid urbanization and industrial development that is taking place in most of the city centers. As the population in urban areas significantly increased from 1950 to 2000, cities had no choice but to expand with very little regard for their environmental responsibility. As a result, the necessary infrastructure was built using materials and methods that release harmful pollution into the air. According to a study commissioned by the Institute of Health and Sustainability, 4,655 people died as a result of air pollution in Sao Paulo in 2011. The study also points out that pollution contributed to over twice as many deaths that year than both AIDS and breast cancer combined. Across the entire state of Sao Paulo, air pollution has been cited as the cause for the deaths of nearly 100,000 people from 2006 to 2011 from respiratory illnesses. The primary source for Brazil's air pollution is the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon's abundance of resources are used by developers to create a profit.
I'm Milo Kingston reporting live from CNN News. Brazil is currently experiencing its worst drought since the 1930s as their water supplies run dry. In the three most heavily populated states, I'm here with Environment Minister Isabella Teixeira to elaborate on this issue.
Hey, Raul.
Hello, Isabella. Nice for you to be here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Just checking out your all's place. Saw a couple bugs, part of the environment and whatnot.
Yes, we're getting rid of those.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, what makes this drought so different from other droughts in past years?
Well, this drought is the worst drought we have seen in more than 80 years. 80. We have ordered states of Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Minas Gerais to save water after an emergency meeting in the capital, Brasilia.
So tell me, what are some steps that residents can take to get them through this drought?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, Raul. Officials in Rio and Minas Gerais are asking residents and industries to reduce water consumption by as much as 30% if possible. And water rationing and cuts are set to come in the future as well.
Wow. Thank you for being here. Now we'll turn it over to our local newscast for more information on the drought.
Brazil's drought in the last 80 years is showing no signs of ending. It's a big one. What started in Sao Paulo is now spreading to Rio and beyond. It's affecting millions and millions of people in the country's most heavily populated states. Lucrecia Franco has more from Rio.
Taps have been running dry at Ari Santana's home in Rio de Janeiro's West Zone. The 77-year-old retiree cannot wash dishes without reaching for a plastic bottle until the water truck arrives. The water meter in his building isn't broken. There is simply no water to measure. Rio's main reservoir is at zero operating capacity.
Mas, de fato, eu não tinha visto.
I've never seen anything like this.
As we all know, drought is caused by a lack of rain for an extended period of time. This drought in Brazil is especially serious because of Brazil's limited water supplies due to its extremely polluted bodies of water in urban areas. However, new research suggests that drought in Brazil can be contributed to deforestation. The expansion of deforestation, which boomed in the 1960s, may be attributed to decreased rainfall. This is because destroying trees creates a water problem, because trees are an important factor in regulating the exchange of water, energy, and gases between the Earth's surface and the atmosphere. Therefore, cutting down forests can alter local temperature, humidity, and rainfall.
Lo siento por la tardanza. Hola. Hi, I'm Bamil Cathay, reporting live from CNN News. I'm here with Rigoberto, president of a local environmentalist group. As the Olympic Games approach us, we have been given an opportunity to speak with an expert in this field. And he is here to tell us about the main concerns of this group. Welcome, Rigoberto.
Thank you for having me.
So, tell me, what are the primary concerns of the environmentalists?
The primary concerns of the environmentalists include the unsustainable practices that are being, through the construction for the Olympic Games,
Right.
and the air and water pollution that's resulted from it that's hurting Rio's environment. Also, the environmentalists would like for Rio to take responsibility in cleaning up the trash and the sewage that's in the city, especially the sewage that's lined up in the Guanabara Bay.
So, what challenges do the environmentalists face?
Well, the environmentalists such as myself, we face persecution from Brazilian society as sometimes we're killed for our activism and sometimes chastised from the government. Also, people such as the Chainsaw Queen, which is a local politician, she promotes boosting agricultural output through deforestation. This is challenging to us because her views will be held more, she'll be listened more to the government instead of us because we feel like we rarely have our voices heard from people who claim to represent us.
Right. It's devastating, the challenges that the environmentalists have had to face simply to protect our environment. Until next time, I am Bamil Cathay with CNN News.
The urban poor experience major degradation due to a lack of sanitation. The urban poor have had little to no means of disposing their waste, which has led to further water pollution. The uneven balance between development and the environment occurs when a society focuses on growth and development while the country has such a large gap between the impoverished and wealthy. The urban poor are worried that their environment will not be healthy enough for them to live in the future, and they may consider possible migration to the Amazon region.
As environmentalists, we are committed to finding solutions to build a better Brazil, especially when it comes to the issues of drought, water pollution, and air pollution. For drought, we believe that the best solution right now is to collaborate with other countries that are capable of helping us and also praying for rain. For water pollution, Brazil has already invested $4 billion into a cleanup project for two of the most polluted bays in Rio. And finally, for air pollution, Brazil has decided to plant 24 million trees to improve air quality and airflow before the 2016 Olympics in Rio.
As environmentalists in Brazil, we negotiated possible solutions to help improve the area with urban planners and developers. For urban planners, we discussed what would become of the 2016 Olympic Stadium after it has been used for the Games. In previous years, Olympic stadiums have not been maintained or used further. The urban planners have stated that they will make use of the stadium after the Games. For developers, because they plan on building a green cruise ship, they agreed to do so in a way that is healthier for the environment. Also, we would like to mention that we talked briefly with an indigenous group. We decided that we will lobby for a cleanup project to help with the issue of mercury in the water.
This is CNN.